us, Dad, this is Paco.
His body is in the freezer. Haha. I am trying to figure out Dilla's mic issue. Might have to restart stream. I love blood. One second.
Wait, can you guys hear me? What? Or how are we doing now? Oh, I got it. Okay. I got it. Okay, what the fuck? I don't fucking know, guys. That was fucking... I always have dumb shit that happens to me. I don't know. But we got it. We're back on. The fucking stream's gonna start, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, Paco was kind of being like an asshole, but I'm gonna find a video. What's up, Eric Kennedy? You just graduated high school. Nice, man. Congrats. But yeah, Paco's been talking shit the whole time, so fuck Paco, man.
Делали Saddam fuck.
I fucking hate that piece of shit, dude. He pisses me off. Paco pisses me off. Anyways, what I was gonna do, I was reading my shoutouts, but no one can hear me. So Nick Oxford, Cole, Leiden Ross, Bondad, Industrial Ship, Darkest Newt, Dakota, Alberto, Alaskan Gold Rush, Francie Gomez, Alligator Gar, Diligent. I think I got Nick, Paco, and I think I got it. I didn't miss anyone, did I? Tyler? Did I say Tyler? All right. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Anyways, we're gonna continue off watching Dark 5 tonight. Oh, for a second there, I had to fucking, like, for whatever reason in OBS, my mic wasn't connected anymore. Like, my mic was plugged in, everything was fine, but in OBS, it just randomly decided one day, right before stream, that it wasn't going to work. So that's cool. Anyways, enough of that. We're gonna give it a few more minutes here, and then we'll start. I'm gonna queue up a video while we're waiting. 5 mysterious photos from Mars. I'm curious about this. Lava's here. What's up, Lava? How you been? The stream mascot's asleep. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck him. I hate Paco. Fucking hate Paco. Yeah, Paco's such a bitch. Fuck you. Piece of shit.
Who is it here?
What? Okay. Alright, I think we're ready to start. Once Serena gets her ass in here, I text her.
Alien Sarilent Alaskan Gold Rush likes moist socks.
Big facts, big facts. Alaska Gold Rush likes big socks. That's interesting that you say that, Paco. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know why he speaks Russian. I don't know. It just happens that way, I guess. But anyways, I'm going to get this video started here. Okay. Lava, I don't know if you've watched this channel before, but it seems like something that'd be up your alley as well. Like from the past content you've sent me. I'm going to make the screen... Oops. I didn't mean to do that. You can speak other languages? What's up, Mad Moose? How you doing? Five mysterious pictures from Mars. Now remember, I was telling you before we even started this video, there's probably going to be the creature that was spotted on Mars, spaceship spotted on Mars, in the atmosphere. Or what is the atmosphere? Maybe the skyscraper and a pyramid. Those are my guesses. Those are probably the most famous ones. I'm doing good, Man Moose. Your grandmother can hit... nah, nothing. Oh, I forgot. For whatever fucking reason, this guy... like, his early channel days, he just did a text thing. Like, I can't watch this. This is so boring. Like, I can't sit there and read a paragraph after paragraph while trying to look at something. Dumb. I hate that. I don't know why he did that. Fucking stupid. Anyways, we're gonna scratch that video. Instead, let's do, remember last stream we did, Men in Black. Mermaid sightings. Why not? Mermaid sightings. NASA sent a laser to the moon and received a signal back.
Israel's modern mermaid.
A laser to the moon?
During the summer of 2009,
Baby
dozens
owls
of
look like
locals and
aliens?
tourists claimed to have seen a mermaid frolicking off the beach of Kiryat Yam, a small Israeli town north of Haifa. The alleged mermaid reportedly only appeared at sunset and resembled a cross between a fish and a young girl. One of the first people to see the mermaid was Shlomo Cohen. He claimed he was with friends when he saw a young woman lying on the sand in a strange way. When approached, she jumped into the water and disappeared. Cohen stated that they were all in shock when they saw her tail. One resident of Kiryat Yam described his alleged undersea encounter with the legendary mermaid as being like, quote, a feeling like from heaven. An NBC investigative report was filmed in the Israeli town as part of NBC's Destination Truth, which chronicles unique natural phenomena all over the world. The film crew spent a whole week on the beach of Kiryat Yam, filming day and night, both underwater and above it. The NBC crew claimed that during one of the late-night outings, they spotted a human figure dipping into the sea and then disappearing underwater. Nothing after that. The local town council offered $1 million reward for a clear photograph of the mermaid. To date, the reward hasn't been claimed.
Like, I actually kind of believe in mermaids to a point. Like, I don't think that they're, like, fully human, like, half human, half fish kind of thing. But they are, like, humanoid. I don't know what the fuck they'd be. Like, I don't know if it's an alien species or if it's, like why. I don't know what. I can't comprehend what a mermaid would be. But I don't know. There's a lot of stories about them, and there's a lot of people that have claimed to see them and all this and that. But, like, you know, if there is a mermaid, there must be an underwater, like, is there, like, a city underwater? Or is there, like a town underwater or some shit they live in? I mean, I don't know. How many mermaids are there? How do they reproduce? I'm curious about that.
The Indonesian mermaids of World War II. Japanese soldiers were stationed on a small remote island within the K island chain in Indonesia in 1943 with a surveillance team. Many of these soldiers reported seeing strange creatures in the pristine lagoons and beaches of the island. They claimed these creatures had limbs and faces similar to those of humans, but mouths like carps, filled with needle-like teeth. Additionally, they had protruding spines or spikes of some sort on their heads, necks, and shoulders. The mermaids were described as typically being just under 5 feet tall, with pink or salmon-colored skin. Strangely, the creatures were familiar to the islanders.
Nazi
when asked
mermaids.
about them, they told the Japanese that these mermaids were known to them as the orang ikan, which translates to man-fish in Malay. These ugly mermaids, often spotted by the villagers around the islands, were sometimes even caught in nets. They were considered fiercely territorial and prone to attacking if approached too closely.
What's up, Selena?
Japanese Sergeant Taro Horiba claimed he actually saw a dead orang ikan, which he described as an ape-like fish with a terrible stench. His efforts back in Tokyo to get zoologists to investigate the K-Island mermaids, however, were met with ridicule. The Benbecula mermaid. A well-recounted mermaid incident occurred on the island of Benbecula in the Outer Hebrides of Scotland in 1830. A group of islanders were cutting seaweed when one of the women washing her feet on the reef heard a splash in the calm sea and saw a tiny female creature a few feet away. She called out to the others to come see the discovery. The half-woman, half-fish creature made somersaults and swam around. Some men waded into the water and tried in vain to seize her, but the mermaid disappeared.
What would happen if you caught a mermaid, theoretically, and you ate it? Like, would that be cannibalism? I mean, what if you just ate her bottom half, that seafood half?
A few days later, the mermaid was allegedly found dead nearly 2 miles away. Those who found the creature described her as being about the size of a well-fed child of 3 or 4 years of age, with long, dark, glossy hair and white, soft, tender skin. The lower part of her body resembled that of a fish, but with no scales. Crowds of people bore testimony to the mermaid. Mr. Duncan Shaw, bailiff and sheriff for the district, ordered a coffin and shroud be made for the mermaid. The body was then buried in the presence of a crowd, a short distance from the shore where it was found. Japan's 13th century mermaid.
What's up, Hannah?
In Japan, folklore speaks to the existence of the ningyo, which translates to human fish. The mystical creatures supposedly vary in appearance and are often portrayed with pointy teeth, and sometimes even with menacing horns.
Okay. Who the fuck is drawing these pictures? Because they should be fucking fired. I get that this is probably from some ancient tribe, but that is so fucking horrid of a drawing that I don't like to never see that again.
One such example is a mermaid mummy said to be over 4...
Oh, for a second I thought that was Serena's senior photo, but it's not. I don't think that's Serena. I don't think.
1,500 years old, that's held in a shrine at Tenshu Kirsha Temple near Mount Fuji. According to local mythology, it was once a fisherman who transformed into a Ningyo
Tiger snakes
because he
are
dared to
cool.
fish in protected waters.
I mean,
An even older specimen
guess,
has also been subject to much attention.
yeah.
According to legend, on April 14th, 1222, a Ningyo washed ashore in Hakata Bay on the Japanese island of Kyushu. A shaman declared the mermaid corpse was a good omen for the nation, and its bones were buried at the Ukimido Temple. From 1772 to 1781, the bones were exhumed from the temple, allowing visitors to use the water in which the Ningyo remains had rested.
You're making a
Local
video about
belief
mocking.
claimed that
Hell yeah,
soaking in
Nick.
the bone water would shield the body from epidemics.
Hell yeah.
6 of the bones from the 13th century Ningyo were returned and are currently on display at Ryoguchi Temple in Fukuoka. They can be seen by appointment. Due to centuries of careful handling, the Ningyo remains have been described as smooth and glossy. The Mermaid of the Orkneys. There have been many sightings of mermaids in the Orkney Islands off the northeast coast of Scotland, but the most famous might be the Deerness mermaid. Sightings of the Deerness mermaid began in 1890 and occurred over a few summers thereafter. People claim that the mermaid used to show herself to visitors in Newark Bay with little to no fear of being spotted. Soon, hundreds of eyewitness reports came forward regarding the Deerness mermaid. Some reported seeing the mermaid sliding up and down underwater rocks, surfacing, and then disappearing
You can
back
talk
into
like
the water.
chills.
Often the accounts of her physical appearance were imprecise since the mermaid swam at a distance from the shoreline. One report claimed that the mermaid was 7 feet long, with a black head and neck on a snow-white body. The mermaid was said to have long arms used to swim about in a waving motion, which some witnesses noted was akin to a mysterious type of dance.
I was hoping that they would look kind of like not like disgusting, but from what it sounds like, they're creepy and disgusting. I mean, I don't care for slimy things, just don't. So let's see. Sending a girl and 12 cats to space. What? Why 12 cats? Why? Okay. I'm trying to find one that's gonna be like see if there's any space-based like alien things or something. We'll do dragon sightings because dragons are like a thing that they actually talked about on Joe Rogan's podcast one time. I think it was kind of recently about dragons and how at one point it's believed that dragons actually did exist. They just are nothing what we think about. They were very large, like lizards, and I don't know if they flew or not. People claim they did and shit, but who knows? We'll see what this video has to say.
Legends of dragon-like creatures exist in the histories of nearly every culture in the world. While scientists sometimes attribute these legends to early findings of dinosaur remains, there have been sightings of real-life cryptids that defy presumed reality and may be evidence of more mysterious, real creatures. Grozno dragon. In the Tver region of Russia, there exists a bizarre 141-foot, 43-meter deep body of fresh water known as Lake Grozno that's inhabited by saltwater fish and also believed to be home to a large bioluminescent creature, the Grozno dragon, or Brosnia. Reports of the dragon date back to a 13th century attack on a Tartar-Mongol army camped on the lake's shores. The legend goes that Batu Khan stopped by the lake to rest, letting his troops take the horses to drink from the lake. Minutes into their stop, a huge serpent-like monster emerged to swallow horses and men alike. Batu Khan and his troops were then so scared that they turned around.
Like, I don't know if I believe that dragons existed in the same time period as humans. I'm not sure if I believe that. It wouldn't surprise me. But, I definitely believe that there was... Well, I shouldn't say definitely. I would lean to believe that dragons existed at one time. But if they look like this, where they had an elephant snout, I mean, I'd be disappointed. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'd be very sad.
A more recent alleged encounter report claims that the monster swallowed an entire German plane by the lake during World War II. Soon after, lobster carcasses emerged from the lake, supposedly the remains of the creature's meals. Saltwater fish have surprisingly shown up in the lake, such as herring, which has been explained by fishermen claiming that the lake has multiple structural levels in its depths, which also serve as hiding spots for the cryptid. If not hiding
Those are
an unknown
rip-offs?
species, some believe the lake may be over an undiscovered volcano that caused the deaths there through rare ejections. The theory of multiple internal structures in the lake bed would explain why the volcano has not been found if it's really there. One considered hypothesis to explain the legend of the dragon claims that hydrogen sulfide within the lake makes the water boil, giving passersby the impression of seeing a creature. This theory has mostly been discredited, as the amount of hydrogen sulfide needed to produce that effect would be substantial. Another theory holds
Alright,
that
Dr. Snoot,
large
thanks for
smelt
tuning in,
shoal
brother.
fish refract light on the water's surface, making the fish seem enormous and fooling locals by means of a mirage. Many witnesses have claimed to have seen the creature in the summer, which would coincide with that theory. Yet none of these theories have been confirmed, and many villagers fully believe that the dragon-like monster resides in the depths of Lake Brosno. Congamato.
Where's Godzilla at, man?
A. Blenny Percival described reports of a mysterious creature in his Game Warden on Safari notes, saying, quote, "The Kitui Wakamba tell of a huge flying beast which comes down from Mount Kenya by night. They only see it against the sky, but they've seen its tracks." In 1923, after 11 years of research in northern Rhodesia, Frank Melland published the first astonishing account of the Congamato in his book In Witch-Bound Africa, where he wrote, quote, "The evidence for the pterodactyl is that the natives can describe it so accurately, unprompted, and that they all agree about it. There's negative support also in the fact that they said they could not identify any other of the prehistoric monsters which I showed them. The natives do not consider it to be an unnatural thing like a mulombe, only a very awful thing, like a man-eating lion or a rogue elephant, but infinitely worse. I've mentioned the Giundu Swamp as one of the reputed haunts of the Congamato, and I must say that the place itself is the very kind of place in which such a reptile might exist.
That's a fucking
It
pterodactyl.
is possible anywhere. Described as a dangerous red or black creature with a 7-foot, 2-meter wingspan, it allegedly attacked the local Kaonde tribe along certain rivers. Tribe members identified the creature as a pterosaur when shown illustrations from Mellon's book collection, and claimed they would carry, quote,
Are we doing a Reddit or
Muchi
Q&A?
wa
No,
Congamato,
Sunday night we will.
a type of charm meant to
Sunday
protect
night.
them from the monster when crossing rivers, where they reportedly were most vulnerable and subject to attacks.
What's up, Mattio? How you doing?
In 1957, engineer J.P.F. Brown reported spotting 2 specimens of the creature to the Rhodesia Herald 1 year before, claiming they seemed prehistoric, estimating their wingspan to a shorter 3 or 4 feet than previously reported, and stating that they had pointed teeth. Furthermore, 1957 hospital records from nearby Fort Rosebery describe a man with a severe chest wound who drew a similar creature. There are also possible links to the Namibian flying snake described by author-reporter Lawrence Green in 1959 in his book.
Can you imagine if snakes just had, like,
he described a
dragonfly
much
wings?
larger
Ugh.
dragon that devoured sheep and left the scent of fire. Groot slang. According to popular reports, Peter Grayson, a British explorer, went missing in 1917 searching for the Wonder Hole, a deep cave in the Richtersveld region of South Africa
The Wonder
that was
Hole.
supposedly filled with diamonds and connected to the sea. Local tribes feared the cave as the gems were said to be guarded by the Groot slang, a 50-foot or 15-meter long snake-like creature, sometimes described as having a head similar to that of the elephant, which was also its primary prey. According to legend, the creature visits warm lakes or rivers every once in a while, and can be fended off if a victim distracts it by offering it precious gems. During their final expedition, several of Grayson's team were reportedly picked off by lions before he allegedly disappeared at the hands of the monster. Cryptozoologists believe that if the creature does exist, it may be related to the famed African cryptid Mukela.
That's why none of these people ever survived Tell or Tale, because they thought gems would, like, make this creature, like, not kill them. And it's just literally just a creature that wants to eat. Why the fuck you show me rocks, motherfucker? I don't care. I want to eat you.
Mbembe, a brontosaurus-like water creature supposedly half elephant and half dragon, recorded in the mythology of several tribes along the Congo River basin. Phaya Naga.
Okay.
Along the Mekong River in Laos and Thailand, the Naga fireballs are a mysterious phenomenon. bright reddish balls of light rise from the water and shoot up to 500 feet, 150 meters, into the sky. Locals attribute the spectacle to the Phaya Naga, or Mekong dragon, a large serpent that's alleged to lurk in the river. The creature has been linked to Thai folklore, which describes the Phaya Naga as a supernatural creature of divine origins connected to the netherworld. In the mythology of the Shan people, it's believed to have created the Mekong River and to actually reside in Erhai Lake. Sightings have been linked to a mysterious unidentified oarfish, an elongated fish with a red crest, yet all known species live in deep-water marine environments.
What the fuck is that?
Another possible explanation has attributed the fireballs to phosphine gas generated in the marshes, but it's impossible for it to spontaneously ignite and travel
You got a new
skyward
job,
with
Hannah?
no
What's your new
external
job?
push. Plasma orbs and gas bubbles have been suggested as sources of the fireballs, but such a phenomenon has only ever been produced under controlled conditions.
You have a Bigfoot in Argentina?
The
I don't know where
phenomenon has
Colin's at.
attracted
He'll
tourists,
probably be in here
and
at
some
some
skeptics
point.
believe that the fireballs are actually caused by flares shot from across the river, and that the crowd's cheers drown out the sound of the shot. However, this is unlikely, as reports of the fireballs predate the invention of flares. Still, the true cause of the fireballs remains unknown. Tatzelwurm.
Okay.
Referred to as the Alps dragon, the Tatzelwurm is often described as being a 6-foot, 2-meter-long snake-like creature with sharp front claws, a feline-like head, knife-like teeth, and a dark, scaly body that emits
like a
poisonous
fucking puma.
fumes. Also going by the names Springwurm, Pretzelwurm, Arasus, and Bergstrutz, reported sightings place it in the Alps near Switzerland, Italy, Austria, and German Bavaria. Legends of the creature's existence can be dated back to around 1680. Following the first reported
You're gonna
sighting in
become a dolphin
1779,
trainer?
farmers
Are you
in
being
remote
serious,
villages
or are you
complained of a
joking?
monster attacking livestock.
Like a dolphin trainer. How do
A
you
farmer
get
reported
to be a
finding the
dolphin
corpse
trainer?
of one of these creatures in 1828, which he
Yeah,
transported home.
they are actually cool,
although by
like
then
interesting,
crows
like
had eaten over half the crypt.
drawings or whatever you want to call
The
them.
alleged remains have been lost, but managed
Whatever
to
you
serve
wanna
as
call this
confirmation
series.
for locals throughout the century. Illustrations of the Tatzelwurm subsequently appeared in an 1836
What's up, Kyle?
Bavarian hunting guide and an 1841 Swiss almanac.
What's up, Kai?
In the 1900s, a photograph of the skeleton of an alleged Tatzelwurm was donated anonymously to the Geneva Institute of Science. The image
Hey,
revealed a
dolphins.
snake-like animal with 2 limbs and a large skull. In time, the image came to be considered a hoax by researchers. In the winter of 1954, yet another claim of evidence came from a photographer who published an alleged photo of the creature in the Berliner Illustrierte, which sparked interest to the point that a search expedition was assembled to inspect the area where it was supposedly taken. Nothing was found, and the photograph has since been discredited by most investigators. Some theorize the creature may actually be an unidentified relative of the poisonous Gila monster, or the giant salamander. However, it's been claimed that if the Tatzelwurm were real, its elusiveness could be attributed to extinction. Dark 5 is
Dude, lizards would be so cute if they weren't so damn ugly. Like, they just would.
bringing a new channel to light. Dark Photos. Click the new logo on screen or the link in the description below to subscribe now. Join us as we explore the unbelievable.
Alright, let's see what else we got here. Mommy is in the trees. Why do I'm so compelled to see what this is. Mommy is in... we have to find out. It's only 6 minutes.
On the evening of December 12th, 1985,
What's up, Colin?
a 2-year-old girl mysteriously wandered into a Kmart in Spanway, Washington, all by herself. Store employees desperately tried to find the girl's parents, but they weren't anywhere to be found. The child was too young to be of any help, and with no other viable options, the employees sent the girl to a foster home until police could investigate the case. 3 days later, when her foster mother noticed scratches and bruises on her body, she was taken to Mary Bridge Children's Medical Center. It was there that a nurse recognized the little girl, Crystal Louise Robertson, as a missing child whose photo had been shown on an earlier news broadcast. When police officers arrived to ask about the whereabouts of her parents, Diana and Michael, all little Crystal could say was, quote, "Mommy's in the trees."
What? Mommy is in the trees. Mommy is Vietnamese.
A family goes missing.
That made me laugh.
21-year-old Diana Lee Robertson, her 36-year-old boyfriend Michael Reimer Jr., and their daughter, Crystal, had all gone missing the same day the 2-year-old ended up alone at Kmart. The 3 of them had last been seen venturing into the woods searching for a Christmas tree. Michael Reimer worked as a roofer, but would also lay animal traps to supplement his income with the sale of small furs. After searching for the tree...
So, I'm just backing this up. If their whole family went missing the same day that she went to a Kmart, how could she be missing? Why was her face in the news? I don't know, maybe he just missaid that. It couldn't have been. That doesn't make any sense. You don't go missing until 48 hours, so...
Michael had also planned to check on his traps, laid along an 80-mile stretch of the Nisqually River deep within the Elb Forest. Any trace of the family was lost at some point during that endeavor. Crystal was eventually reunited with her grandmother, Louise Conrad, the following Sunday, but the whereabouts of her parents remained a mystery. Search parties led by Reimer's friends and father bore no results, despite exhaustive ground and air coverage. The couple had vanished, leaving no clues behind.
Abducted by aliens?
Meanwhile, Louise Conrad reported that her granddaughter was silent and, quote, always looking around, now seemingly void of personality. The young girl proved to be no additional help to the police or the search parties, even though the 5 words she had shared would ultimately prove incredibly accurate. Mommy was indeed lost in the trees.
You got hired to train dolphins at SeaWorld Gold Coast? Well, that sounds fun.
It was a little over 2 months after the child was identified that a man walking his dog happened upon a female body buried in the snow under the forest canopy. Diana Robertson had been stabbed 17 times, and a tube sock had been tied around her neck. Reimer's truck, a 1982 Plymouth pickup, was also found abandoned next to her. The suspected killer. Within Reimer's truck, there was a number of uncertain but troubling clues to what might have happened to the family. The front seat was stained with blood, and even more hauntingly, a manila envelope was found on the dashboard with a written note that simply read, "I love you, Diana." With Michael Reimer seemingly nowhere to be found, the county undersheriff, Randy Hamilton, pointed to Reimer as, quote, either a suspect or an additional victim. Diana Robertson's boyfriend officially became a person of interest, and realistically the primary suspect, thanks to the 2 domestic disturbance complaints against him. It didn't help that he also had a previous arrest for domestic assault and malicious damage from October of 1984. In that incident, he'd broken Robertson's door and thrown her to the floor, a violent history that some found potentially incriminating. His father, Michael L. Reimer Sr., fiercely contested the possibility of his guilt and held the belief that his son must be dead too. On the other hand, though, Louise Conrad felt that the note in the truck must have been a sort of apology, a final confession from Reimer Jr.
What did it say?
She stated that, quote, I have cards that he had given to her on different holidays and things. He signed exactly the same way. Yet FBI handwriting analysis came back inconclusive, and while tests on the blood found in the vehicle revealed that they were of human origin, they failed to indicate a blood type. Michael Reimer Jr. remained a suspect, especially considering he had been trapped in the area for 15 years, and this wasn't the first murder to take place there. A gruesome precursor.
What's up, Gold
Before
Reaper?
Diana and Michael went missing, on August 10th, 1985, another couple disappeared on a camping trip nearby at Tule Lake, a 42-year-old woman named Ruth Cooper and her 27-year-old boyfriend, Steve Harkins. His body, still inside his sleeping bag, was found in a campground with a bullet in the head only 4 days after they went missing. The next month, hunters found Cooper's body and purse in the same area, with a tube sock tied around the neck.
A tube sock, that's the...
Given the startling similarities between the case and the Mommies in the Trees murder, 2 main theories developed. Either an unknown serial killer had killed all 4 people, or Michael Reimer himself was the perpetrator.
Why is Mommy in the Trees? I don't understand. What's up, Corito?
A serial killer at large? The joint case went cold until March 26th of 2011, 25 years after Diana Robertson's body was found. A hiker trekking about a mile away from the site of the discovery found a human skull. It was Michael Reimer's. Detectives from the Pierce and Lewis counties pledged to look into the case once more, but with no body and no detectable cause of death, there was little to go on with. To date, the rest of his remains have not been found, and an additional double murder from March of 1985 has also possibly been linked to the crimes. Whether Michael was involved or whether a serial killer remains at large near the Elb Forest remains to be seen. creepy mystery channels
go
may
there
seem
now.
far removed from the rest of YouTube, but Dark 5 and you are still a big part of the community.
Creature on the roof. What the hell is this?
Early evening, August 21st, 1955. 8 adults and 3 children barged into the Hopkinsville police station to file a terrifying, sensational report. Brothers Elmer and John Sutton were among the bewildered witnesses. What followed was the telling of one of the most complete, notable, and consistent reports of a UFO sighting on record. Accordingly, the report stated that the event lasted several hours. During that time, the family spotted 12 to 15 alien creatures peering into their home and apparently trying to get inside. The alleged incident took place at their family farm on the outskirts of rural Kelly, Kentucky, a small hamlet. The family shared a sparse 3-bedroom home that lacked running water,
Why can't this shit happen to
electricity,
me?
and even painted walls. Despite later disputed descriptions,
You're doing a mini
police
skit and
officers
you're
there
dressed
that
as
night
me?
agreed that the whole
Hell yeah,
family
brother.
appeared distressed and afraid.
Let me know when they're done. We'll watch
For
it.
example, one of the Sutton men had a pulse of 140 beats per minute when he arrived. Police Chief Russell Greenwell would later tell investigators that, quote, "These aren't the kind of people who normally run to the police for help. What they do is reach for their guns."
What?
The incident.
Oh.
According to the accounts given by the family to the police, the sequence of events unfolded as follows. Nearly 7 p.m. on a Sunday evening, the family's friend, Billy Ray Taylor, fetched water from the backyard well. That's where he witnessed it, the arrival of a silvery object in the sky. Taylor, age 21, and his wife, June, 18, were down from Pennsylvania, visiting Lucky Sutton, whom they worked with before, at a traveling carnival. Glennie Langford, the 50-year-old widowed head of household, her 2 older sons, Lucky and John, with their respective wives, Vera and Aline, a brother-in-law, O.P. Baker, and Langford's 3 younger children, Lonnie, Charlton, and Mary, all resided at the farm. When they initially heard Taylor's story, they laughed. However, an hour after the first report, the farm dog started barking. It grew loud, then incessant. Lucky Sutton and Billy Ray
Greys
Taylor
are here.
snuck
The
out
Greys
the
are
back
here.
to investigate. There, they saw a strange glow. At its center, a small humanoid described as about 3 feet tall, with, quote, an oversized head, almost perfectly round, arms extended almost to the ground. Hands had talons, and eyes glowed with a yellowish light. Naturally, the 2 men climbed back inside for their 20-gauge shotgun
Or a
and
tall
22 caliber rifle. The inclination was to fire at the small gray creature. Before they could grab their weapons, the alien descended, arms raised, threatless. Nevertheless, they fired. The creature reportedly flipped, then ran into the dark cover of night.
I don't know what the fuck that would be.
Langford described its appearance to researcher Isabel Davis, who wrote the report, titled Close Encounter at Kelly and Others of 1955. In it, she repeated Langford's description, quote, "It looked like a 5-gallon gasoline can with a head on top and small legs. It was a shimmering bright metal, like on my refrigerator." The night wasn't over. Taylor stepped outside to investigate. While peering out from the overhanging roof, many of the family members witnessed a claw-like hand reaching down. It touched his hair, sending Lucky reeling back, shooting at the ceiling. Lucky Sutton fired at a tree where he saw another creature. The family pulled him back inside. Adjacent to where the aliens were fired upon, an odd, luminous substance sprayed on the grass. Perhaps alien blood. Of course, the extraterrestrials ran into the woods. The family retreated too, locking doors and windows. However, they soon heard what sounded like movement on the roof. Then scratching. An hour before midnight, they made a dash to their cars, speeding towards the Hopkinsville police station, both looking for help and escaping the beings. Police Chief Russell Greenwell called for backup and searched the farm with his team. State police and military police from Fort Campbell arrived soon after,
Jesus.
along with a photographer from the Kentucky New Era.
State.
The only evidence of the scene were shell casings. Their first inclination was to ask whether the adults had been drinking that night. But Glennie Langford didn't allow alcoholic consumption on her property. Evidence to the contrary was lacking. Law enforcement left with no leads while the family tried to decompress. However, the creatures reappeared at around 2:30 in the morning and once more at dawn. Langford reported having witnessed an alien at her bedside window, observing her, its clawed hand on the window. It glowed.
The best way to handle an alien, okay, and this is for advice, you get your hands on it. You don't use a gun or whatever. You just get your goddamn hands on that motherfucker and you wrestle him to the ground, okay? You just gotta show them who's boss. And if you're gonna try to shoot guns at them, they're just gonna do weird shit, alright? And they're gonna do flips and all this weird shit. Fucking, if I have to, I would use my combat stick and I'd beat his knees in so that he couldn't run. And then I'd grab him and lift him up from the ground. And I'd choke him to death. But, yeah, no, just get your hands on him. That's what I would do, at least. I'd punch him. I could knock out an alien, straight up. If I hit a fucking gray alien in the face,
the family and their farm on the outskirts of town soon appeared in headlines and news articles worldwide. Audiences were thrilled at their
RKO a tall white,
visitation claims and, quote, little gray men. The media spread news, speculation, and statements to both believers and skeptics.
What do you need, Colin?
Even the New York Times reported the incident. Their account of small, gray, goblin-like creatures often went misquoted as little green men. This mistake permeated the culture and most people's understanding of aliens. The incident, referred to as the Kelly Hopkinsville encounter,
what if it knows martial arts? Then it'd be a fair fight. It'd be a fair fight.
Even Steven Spielberg references it as partial inspiration for films such as E.T. and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. As a consequence, hundreds of curious people and ufologists traveled to the farm. Many wanted evidence. Others thought to badger the family or else prove them frauds. The Suttons put up no trespassing signs, which did little to discourage the wave of visitors. While they failed, the family had another idea. They decided to capitalize on their undesired fame by charging admission to their farm. Entering the grounds had a cost of 50 cents. If they wanted information, guests would pay an extra $1. For pictures, the asking price was $10. The decision to charge the visitors led skeptics to discredit and criticize the family as financially motivated. Their misinterpreted reports of green-skinned creatures soon took on a life of its own. The account was quickly lumped in with an Eastern Kentucky woman's account of a UFO and 6-feet-tall green men. Both stories helped create the widespread myth of aliens as green.
Don't let you hit me.
This myth soon entered public consciousness in the U.S. and abroad, and has remained there ever since. An investigation. The morning after the incident, the police went back to the farmhouse, searching for evidence of the flying saucer's landing spot, footprints, or blood trails in broad daylight. They checked for scratch marks on the outside of the house and the roof. Nothing was found. A local radio station employee by the name of Bud Ledwith conducted interviews of the adult eyewitnesses, drawing sketches based on their descriptions. They were interviewed separately by the police. Several of the interviewers remarked that their stories were specific and consistent, even though they had no time to get their versions straight before questioning. The incident attracted the attention of the Air Force's UFO investigative project Blue Book. Still, it relied mostly on information already available to Fort Campbell. It did not check back in with the involved parties. In 1956, one of the most, if not the most, exhaustive investigations into the matter was conducted by ufologist Isabel Davis, who published her findings decades later through the Center for UFO Studies. In her 200-page book, co-written with Ted Blocher, she included several maps of the area, the original drawings by Ledwith, as well as other drawings, records, and summaries of accounts. She compared it to other relevant cases and drew conclusions from the police record and recollections from surviving Sutton family members. While Davis's research acknowledged a lack of physical evidence, she argues that no possible explanation completely suffices to explain what happened at the Suttons' farm that night. All descriptions to the police and independent investigators matched. The creatures were 3 to 4 feet in height. They had muscular upper bodies and seemingly stunted legs, with large glowing eyes and pointy ears. They were gray in tone and seemed to shine silver under the moonlight. Still, not everyone believed them. Respected astronomer and UFO researcher Dr. J. Allen Hynek called their claims, quote, preposterous. Some skeptics went as far as to suggest that the small men were monkeys from the carnival where Lucky Sutton and Billy Taylor worked.
Of course, they were weather balloons.
Theories. Several alternative explanations were put forth by investigators and authorities. Many have supported ufologist theories. First, psychologists and the Committee for Skeptical Inquiry found similarities between the alleged creatures and the great horned owl.
You roasted your mom?
Author Brian Dunning wrote, quote,
your mom?
There are simply too many similarities between the creatures reported by the family and an aggressive pair of the local great horned owls, which do stand about 2/3 of a meter tall. Furthermore, the glowing alien blood was explained as foxfire, a bioluminescent fungus that attaches itself to decaying wood. As for the spaceship allegedly seen by Taylor, a comet was visible flying past that day in the area. Many have suggested his account was either misinterpreted or an embellishment. Yet while great horned owls are known to be aggressive defenders of their nests, they're never as hostile as the Suttons characterized.
Oh, speaking of owls.
And while foxfire flows, no one made
Alaska
note of its
Gold
presence
Rush, I had a
in
video
daylight.
pulled up.
Lastly, a meteor did fly near Earth that
Have
night.
it ready.
Still, some believe the phenomenon is also tied to the alien visit, rather than an alternative explanation. Project Blue Book.
Project Blue Book. Blue Book.
Starting in 1952, the U.S. Air Force conducted a series of studies on UFO incidents. It was the third government study in the series. The purpose was to determine whether UFOs presented a national security threat, while also getting scientific analysis on UFO incident data. Thousands of cases and reports were used for the project, including the accounts and information collected by Fort Campbell members from the Hopkinsville Goblins incident. Their findings saw nothing paranormal or extraterrestrial. Project Blue Book listed it as a hoax, providing no evidence for their claim. The study was concluded in December 1969, and the project closed down in January of the following year. Still, many ufologists have regarded Project Blue Book as nothing more than a cover-up.
Underwater recorded creepy. Let's just see what this is. I don't like underwater creatures. I like swimming. I like water, but things that swim in the water that are large, I don't care for.
Arctic Ping. In November 2016, Canada's military began investigating a mysterious sound emanating from the bottom of the Arctic.
Project
The strange noise forced sea animals to leave. Desperate,
Is there people
Inuit
missing?
hunters
I mean,
in the
there's
area filed a
reports in
report.
Project Blue Book.
Ottawa locals described the sound as being so powerful.
I'm sure
it could be
there's
heard
reports
through
of
the hulls
that.
their
Yes,
boats.
like abductions and stuff like that.
Locals
in the
described the
files
sound as a
that's in
pinging
Project Blue Book.
emanating from somewhere on the
Blue
sea
Book.
floor in the Hecla and Fury Strait. Described further as a hum or a beep.
That's true,
The
Decknick.
sound
Yeah,
thought
if
to
we,
have
yeah. I
originated
mean,
in Igloo Leak, an Inuit hamlet
couldn't
nearly
fight aliens.
120
I mean-
kilometers or 74 miles northwest
we're
of
like
the strait.
the unintelligent, or at the low end of the intelligent life scale.
Reports of the sound reached the military. As part of Operation Limpid, an SP-140 Aurora patrol aircraft searched for the source. The operation was tied to a surveillance program whose goal was to locate and eliminate threats targeting Canada and its interests. The aircraft's initial acoustic search failed to detect any abnormalities in the area. Even multi-sensor searches found nothing. Unable to find anything out of the ordinary, the Department of
Fucking
National
alien.
Defense ceased its search efforts.
I mean, I'll fucking alien up 1v1,
Spokesman
but
Ashley Lemeyer stated that,
the rest
quote,
of the human race
the
cannot
only
is
thing
not
the
ready
crew did
to fight
observe
them.
were
you
2
know.
pods of whales and 6 walruses in the area of interest. Regardless, the public started speculation on possible explanations for the Arctic ping. Some believe the sound came from a mining company conducting
That's
a
where
sonar
Serena grew
survey.
up right there.
The Baffin Land Iron Mines Corporation carried out these surveys to make maps of the sea floor. However, they denied holding any such operation at that time. Another theory suggested military submarines. This explains the Canadian military's interest in the first place. Still, no evidence exists to support this theory. The last theory, widely discussed, involved a noise
Yeah, Dakota brings up a good
coordinated
point.
scare
This is what I
campaign
always say.
against
I wouldn't necessarily say that they're. Well, I mean, it's true though. Like there is a greater chance that they're more real than land cryptids. I believe Bigfoot is more legit than any cryptid. Period. Like Bigfoot is like I think there's so much evidence of Bigfoot that I 100% see it as almost like a fact in my head that he's real. But we've only scanned what 3% of Earth's water, and who knows? I mean, you would want to think that larger cryptid, like predatory-based cryptids, would be not so deep in the water because if they're going to hunt for food, they'd probably stay closer to the surface. Now, even still, it would be impossible to. It'd still be possible to find these things, like almost. You'd have to get lucky. It'd be finding a needle in a haystack, you know, the size of, you know, shit, I don't know, fucking what, 5,000 football fields. So, I don't know. Like me and Ryan were talking. It could possibly be one of those things where like these things live deep under, like they've adapted to live deep underwater, and then they come up for food. And I don't know. Who knows? It's. There's definitely something in the ocean somewhere that's not discovered. That's a large fucking nasty ass monster. Serena says she believes mermaids are real. I think they're real. I think they're real to an extent. I don't think they're what we think they look like, but I think there's also a lot of evidence for mermaids too. I shouldn't say evidence, but a lot of reports, sightings.
Inuit hunters by Greenpeace or some other pro-animal activism organization. Greenpeace has soundly rejected these allegations. One possible explanation may lie behind a high fenced island.
Jungles too, yeah. Jungles are
steel plant
like
is
only
located.
like what 10%.
Many locals believe the ping originated here. Again, the speculation was later discredited.
Cave system, yeah, cave systems.
Still, it did not stop urban
so
legends
much
from
shit
cropping
that
up
we have not
that
explored
describe
on the
underground
planet yet.
tunnels built by billionaires hiding aliens and UFOs inside. A Canadian Department of National Defense spokesman admitted that, quote, the cause of the pings remains mired in mystery. Knock. During training in 1984, Navy veteran and diver Miles Braggett swore he heard a voice
Seahorses
underwater.
are mermaids? Ah.
Out, it commanded. When Braggett emerged from the water, his
true,
commanding
Alaskan,
officer
it's
was
true.
nowhere to be seen. When he surfaced, he asked those near the tank, quote, who told me to get out? They shrugged. The only other entity in the tank was Knock, a beluga whale being trained to retrieve sunken test torpedoes. Since the 1960s, the U.S. started training and deploying marine mammals such as dolphins for detection and removal of practice torpedoes. Since the Cold War began, the naval focus shifted to the Arctic. The training of animals capable of maneuvering underneath the ice became increasingly necessary. The Navy Marine Mammal Program contacted the Canadian government, requesting permission to launch a beluga training program in Manitoba called Cold Ops. Knock, spelled N-O-C, named after no-see-ums, biting midges found in Manitoba, was a beluga whale legally captured by Inuit in 1977. Although it was the only other creature in the tank with Miles Braggett, no one suspected the whale of making the noise. However, as more occurrences of this same underwater communication were reported, Knock was identified as the vocal source.
No, you're not too late.
After the National Marine Mammal Foundation made this discovery,
Late in
they began
95.
recording Knock's human-like sounds.
Well, an hour.
It was the first time a whale was being recorded for such purposes. The Vancouver Aquarium claimed to have a beluga, Lugosi, who could replicate the sound of its own name, but this was never recorded. A biology team led by Sam Ridgway was recruited to study Knock's sounds. To track the way Knock produced human-like sounds, they placed a pressure sensor inside the nasal cavity. The beluga was taught to make sounds on command and then receive a treat. Through these studies, scientists concluded that Knock's noises were the result of skillful mimicking. The frequencies, rhythm, and amplitude were similar
beluga whale's gotta be the goddamn ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. Fuck that. I would imagine being reincarnated and you turn into a beluga whale. I mean, fuck me.
to and adapted from the way humans speak. His sounds registered between 200 and 300 hertz at the octave of middle C, considerably lower than a beluga's usual octave range. About his finding, Ridgway said, quote, they were definitely unlike usual sounds, and similar to human voices in rhythm and acoustic spectrum.
That's a what?
To produce sounds, humans use the larynx, while whales use their nasal tract. As recorded by the pressure sensor, Knock used his nasal tract to replicate human voices as well. Knock altered its voice by overinflating its vestibular sac. This sac is usually reserved for keeping water from entering the lungs. The sounds were nevertheless unusual. The phenomenon may also be related to unresolved stories from divers hearing what sounded like screaming children underwater.
Sounds like kazoo.
Bioduck.
Big duck.
Bioduck is the name of a mysterious underwater quacking sound first reported by submarine sailors in the 1960s.
Whales don't die of old age. Just
Recorded
get
near
too weak to
Australian
surface.
coasts, particularly in the Perth Canyon, the sound
I did
puzzled
not know
everyone
that.
who heard it. Soviet submarines were
Isn't that
especially
dying of
wary
old
the
age
noise.
though? They get too weak and
They
they
expected
die?
it was new
Isn't
native
that the
technology
same thing,
targeting their
dying of old
ships.
age?
On the contrary, clues were first picked up by sonar operators aboard an Oberon-class British submarine. Moving up to 125 miles per hour, or 200 kilometers. To some, the quackers appeared to circle and chase the submarines. The frequencies beamed at 50 and 300 hertz, each quack lasting anywhere from 1.6 to 3.1 seconds. The sounds were heard throughout early winter, but ceased in December. The following summer, they started back up again.
Almost
Sonar
sounds like
scans
something
regularly
mechanical
fail
or
to
like
identify any ships, objects, or
technology.
creatures in the area that might be the source. Research recently suggests it could emanate from Antarctic mink whales. However, why the whales would make such sounds remains a mystery. Still, the whale theory fails to explain the strange encounters with Russia. Upsweep. In 1991, scientists recorded the feed picked up by the Sound Surveillance System, a classified underwater reconnaissance system. What they detected would be known as upsweep, an unidentified sound consisting of a, quote, long train of narrow-band upsweeping sounds of several seconds duration each.
Downloaded random.
In August 1991, hydrophone arrays belonging to the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration detected the sound through the Pacific Marine Environmental Laboratory System. The sound surveillance system was developed as a passive acoustic recorder for the U.S. Navy capable of tracking Soviet submarines. While the project's exact details are highly classified today, the hardware mainly used components from telephone systems and oil mining. Using 40 hydrophones, the device sent the collected signals through an elaborate process. Horizontal beams led to a LOFAR analyzer, which removed ocean noises between specific frequencies commonly related to machines. Meanwhile, the Naval Facilities Engineering Command watch floor used electrostatic paper to map the sounds visually. These graphs showed the intensity and frequency of sound. Trained personnel analyzed them, looking for submarine signatures. The system was installed under Project Caesar, a cover claiming to gather data for regular acoustic surveys by both cheaper and more reliable means. The project purported to belong to naval facilities. As for the sound, upsweep is believed to originate from the Pacific Ocean floor, but its exact location has never been identified. The sound can be heard at its loudest at 54 degrees south, 140 degrees west, a spot of notable seismic volcanic activity. The U.S. Navy had never seen the signal again. Its overall source level declined since the first contact. The sound appears to vary with the seasons.
It's a kaiju.
Still, although some theorize it may be volcanic activity, it's never been clearly identified. The puzzling sound can even be heard to this day. Challenger Deep. Deep down, 7 miles, 11 kilometers beneath the ocean's surface, the Marianas Trench, one suspects, is quiet.
Point on Earth.
In 2015, scientists lowered a microphone to the Challenger Deep, where they picked up an eerie recording. The unearthly moans of a baleen whale just before a magnitude 5 earthquake. The 3.5-second clip was recorded by an autonomous vehicle, lowered to the depths of Challenger Deep. The sound, never heard before, mystified experts. Sharon Newkirk, a member of the team from Oregon State University, claimed, quote, "It's very distinct with all those crazy parts." Still, the frequency at which the moan in question happens matches the frequency at which baleen whales typically make noise. Still, it is rare to stumble on a new whale call. The team doesn't believe any human or geological feature could replicate it. Their report stated, quote, "The sounds reported here are not similar to known anthropogenic sources such as noise produced by ships or seismic air guns. They also do not resemble geophysical sources such as the very low-frequency sounds produced by earthquakes and ice, nor the sounds produced by wind or rain." They put forth the baleen whale hypothesis. While it can be neither confirmed nor denied with absolute certainty, adding to the mystery were similar noises recorded in the Marianas Trench Marine National Monument east of Guam on several occasions from the fall of 2014 to the spring of 2015. The Challenger Deep descended into the Marianas Trench, reaching the lowest known point of our planet's seabed hydrosphere. The vessel was so named after the HMS Challenger, a British Royal Navy survey vessel that made the first recordings of the trench's depths. All the way down to around 1,900 meters, or 35,770 feet, the exact depth has varied by study. By gauging the trench's depths.
There she is. There's Serena. Serena Deep. Serena Deep. Serena is deep.
Explorers have used submersibles, landers, rovers, and solar bathymetry. Still, due to high water pressure, exploration has remained challenging and results limited. Light stretches to 3,280 feet, or 1 kilometer, underwater, while sound propagates easily. With a high-powered microphone, one can even pick up a passing ship's propeller or the fury of a Category 4 typhoon shaking overhead.
Fuck. Okay, well there was underwater recorded creepy sounds. Let's see what else we got on deck here. Let's see. Would you rather go to space or go to the bottom of the Oh, easily space, dude. Not even close. I don't like going to the bottom of the Mariana Trench would just be black. Like, it'd be boring, kind of, I guess. I mean, it'd be cool if you knew you weren't gonna die. I don't know, like, you just... I mean, it would be cool. It would be cool. I would like that if there's some kind of submarine that could go down that far somehow. I don't know. I feel like we can't go down that far, can we? There's no way. Maybe we have. I don't know. I don't know if they've had submarines that do that or not. But, yeah, going to space would be so badass, dude. Oh, it'd be so badass. That would be cool. There's like if you could just see Earth from space, that would be the most badass thing ever you could see. I think that'd be cool. Besides seeing an alien, that would be the coolest thing. Or Bigfoot. Bigfoot would probably be cooler. Okay, let's see. Let's see what else we got here. I've been watching a lot of Chernobyl as well. Like, I'm a big like Chernobyl is one of the like most fascinating things that have ever happened. I don't know if you guys ever watched the HBO series. Just it's called Chernobyl. Oh, it's so fucking good. And it's actually like almost like a horror film, like a film series, but it's not like it's just because it's real. It's all real shit. I don't even know. Let's see what this one is. 5. Oh, this fucking stupid text shit. Are these all text? Why? Why? Yeah, like it was like a mini series. Like there was like what 5 episodes or something like that. They were like an hour a piece or something. Oh, it was the acting is so spot on. It's fucking scary. Like the firefighters at Chernobyl that first responded, there was graphite on the ground. The graphite is what was inside the core. It's if you were to touch a piece of graphite, even with the most safest glove on the world, you would lose your hand within a matter of minutes. Like it's the most like it was like holding the equivalent of like 44 Hiroshima bombs, nuclear bombs in your hand. And one of the firefighters at shows, he picks it up, and someone tells him to put it down. Like, the fact that you're even close to a piece of graphite that was laying at Chernobyl is you're guaranteed to die. Like, you're guaranteed to die of cancer at least. But they had, like, after they realized it exploded and all that, and they tried, like, flying helicopters over the open core to, like, put out the fire inside the core. But the radiation was so strong that when you fly a helicopter over that, the radiation would kill the helicopter. And there's actual video of it where the helicopter just breaks. Like, it literally just crumbles, like, into fucking pieces and falls down because the radiation just disintegrated it. And they would put robots out because they had to pick up the graphite that was everywhere. The graphite was exploded all over the compound. They had to try to make these robots that would pick up graphite and remove it. But even, like, these were made for, like, lunar rovers, like all these special rovers that are like meant to withstand a bunch of shit, and they would die within seconds. They would just die within seconds. So then they had to hire all these people, or not hire them. They like forced manual labor people to liquidators to come in, and they would just literally have teams that you would get 90 seconds to go out on the roof and take you'd have a shovel and you pick up a piece of graphite and throw it over the edge, and they would tell you don't look over the edge, don't look down at the core. If you do that, you are going to die instantly. And one of the guys, and they actually show real footage of this too, combined with the footage of the show. And he's picking up graphite, he's throwing it, he keeps looking over the ledge a few times, like he wasn't supposed to. After 90 seconds, the guy inside the building like does this alarm thing, and you run back in, and then you have to take off all the lead shielding that you're wearing and throw it away, and then get new lead shielding. And they have all these teams that just keep rotating. Well, he tripped and fell, and part of his suit broke open, and he got back in there, and the guy told him you're done, meaning he was about to die. And dying of radiation poisoning is probably the most gruesome and disgusting, nasty way to die, because your body literally rots away while your heart is beating. Your heart and your brain are the last things to work. Everything else, literally, your skin peels off like you will be bone. Like, it's nasty as shit. Yeah, exactly, Dakota. As far as I knew, you can't even get close to the bottom of Mariana Trench because the pressure, like, a submarine cannot go down that far. It would crush it. That's the last I knew. But I don't know if they've made something since. I haven't really kept up on it. To the very bottom of the Mariana Trench, though, 1960s. Yeah, the amount of people that had to be sacrificed to clean up Chernobyl was insane. It was crazy. We'll look at some of the pictures, I guess. Even though it has text, I guess they're just pictures. We can still watch it. This is a piece of graphite that was laying on the ground. And, like, if you were to even, like, see how this picture is all grainy? That's because of the radiation. You couldn't even take videos and stuff, clearly, because the radiation affected everything. Yeah, they now have the red forest, which all the trees were... And they had to plow all the forest over because all the trees were holding so much radiation that they were giving off radiation, so they had to plow over all the woods and burn them all. And put some, like basically syrup on the ground to keep the dust down so the dust wouldn't carry the radiation with the wind. It was a pretty fucked up ordeal. Yeah, they tried to shoot the elephant's foot with an AK. Dude, the elephant's foot is still there to this day. And it's so radioactive that if you were standing next to the elephant's foot for more than, I want to say it was like 5 minutes. If you stood next to it for 5 minutes, you would drop dead. After like a minute and a half, or after 30 seconds, you start to experience symptoms. Like you start to feel dizzy, lightheaded, and sick. And then after a minute and a half is like when you've been in there long enough to basically seal your death. Like you won't survive. Like you can walk out, but you'll die weeks later. 5 minutes, you will not survive longer than that. It's fucking crazy. Chernobyl was a very creepy fucking ordeal. Five strangest photos of out-of-place people. I'm torn between this one and this one. You can't tell. Let's do this one.
In December 1980, a series of sightings of unexplained lights near Rendlesham Forest in Suffolk, England, was reported along with other unusual discoveries.
Yeah, and the thing is, when the Soviet Union lied to everyone saying it wasn't
nearby.
Even a bad deal. And
the Royal Air Force even reported witnessing a metallic object moving through the trees,
a lot of people by doing
startling animals on a nearby farm. The event occurred near Woodbridge Royal Air Force Base, managed at the time by the United States Air Force. Evidence suggests that the United Kingdom's Ministry of Defense maintains an extensive file in the incident.
See ya, Brandon.
Much
Thanks
of
for
which
tuning in, buddy.
remains secret. The forest. Rendlesham Forest is a man-made pine plot of roughly 6 square miles, about 8 miles outside of Ipswich. The sleepy area is home to 2 retired military bases. At the time they were operational, both RAF Woodbridge and RAF Bentwater were under U.S. Air Force command. Even commanders Colonel Gordon E. Williams and Colonel Ted Conrad witnessed the UFO. Reports hint that the strange happenings took place inside the forest near Woodbridge. The UFO event, December 26th. The paranormal activity inexplicably took place over Rendlesham Forest on December 26th and 28th, 1980. Events began during the early hours of the 26th. At 3 in the morning, a security patrol near Woodbridge came upon a string of lights hovering above them. They said the lights sank to ground level through the trees. At first, the patrol dismissed it as a plane. Only after approaching did they understand the truth.
See ya, Cole. Thanks for tuning in, buddy.
The servicemen later described it as metallic and somehow glowing. The closer they got, the quicker it passed behind trees. Animals from a nearby farm started howling. Sergeant Jim Peniston later described what he saw simply as a, quote, craft of unknown origin. Yet what he kept from his report
I don't know
was a
where
bizarre
Ryan's at.
flash in which the events transpired, perhaps to prevent future questioning. Later, he claimed to have touched the UFO. At 4 a.m., the police arrived on a call from the patrol. The officers only noted light coming from Orford Ness Lighthouse, 5 miles away. Once dawn broke, servicemen made it to a clearing on the eastern edge of the forest where they believed the object may have flown. They found a triangular pattern of small impressions left in the forest floor. Trees surrounding the clearing suffered burn marks and broken branches. After another call, the police arrived by 10:30. That morning, police presumed the culprit was likely an animal, but the servicemen remained unconvinced. The animal theory failed to explain the tattered woods.
Local 58.
Veteran researcher Georgina Bruni would later
sounds
publish the
familiar.
photographs of the site taken at the time. The UFO event, December 28th. The strange events continued until the early hours of December 28th. Deputy Base Commander Lieutenant Colonel Charles Hall took a group of servicemen to check the alleged UFO landing site. Using an ANPDR-27 survey meter, the military recorded the radiation surrounding the triangle of marks in the clearing. They recorded .07 milliroentgens an hour, variation increasing further from the site. Noticeably, a mile away saw an additional burst of radiation. During their investigation, the police observed a flash of light to the east. The glow matched precisely where the farmhouse stood. Following that flash, 3 lights appeared in the sky, star-like, 2 to the north, the other to the south. They hovered a while, the brightest reportedly shining for a couple hours. They occasionally sent down beams of light intermittently. Evidence and cover-up. Several records created over the 2 days following these events serve as testimony to the UFO sighting story. Lieutenant Colonel Charles Hall's history of the incident was published in 1983. Titled Unexplained Lights, the report was written 2 weeks after the event, which resulted in several inconsistencies. Between dates and timelines, Hall's account diverges from other witnesses. Nevertheless, he remains confident that he witnessed an extraterrestrial, or at least paranormal phenomenon. One that has since been covered up.
You know when
In
they covered up, it's
1984,
legit.
Colonel Sam Morgan released a tape with Hall's real-time investigations. His radiation readings and the accounts and reactions of his team to the flashing lights were released to UFO researchers. Lieutenant Colonel Hall also notarized a sworn affidavit in June 2010, laying out a summary of the events he saw. He included evidence of his belief that the United States and the United Kingdom conspired to bury the truth. Although his second statement presents information closer to other eyewitness accounts, the contradictions between his early and later reports remain and have been used to discredit him. In fact, an active campaign to discredit
Alright,
Colonel
Colin,
Hall
thanks
had
for
been launched.
tuning in, buddy.
In an interview, Base Commander Colonel Ted Conrad attacked Hall by stating, quote, "He should be ashamed and embarrassed by his allegation that his country and Britain both conspired to deceive their citizens over this issue. He knows better." The British have gone as far as to claim that no one present has succeeded in corroborating Hall's account, leading many UFO specialists to believe his colleagues were silenced. Conrad also attempted to discredit Sergeant Jim Peniston, who testified that he had touched the extraterrestrial spacecraft. Furthermore, several eyewitness accounts from December 26th survive. For example, John Burroughs reported more than just the lights, but added there was a noise, quote, like a woman was screaming. His statement checks with Hall's report of a similar sound on December 28th. Still, the government has explained that it may have been the alarmed bark of a local deer, the muntjac. Unfortunately, police reports have been of little help to experts
Good luck,
and
buddy.
enthusiasts. Pages are filled with witnesses rationalizing away events as they happened. The reports attribute the lights to a nearby lighthouse and the marks on the ground to wild animals. The file includes a letter from Inspector Mike Topless stating that a police constable returned to the scene the next day to inspect in daylight. He found nothing amiss. According to his letter, quote, "There was nothing to be seen, and he remains unconvinced that the occurrence was genuine." He alleged optical illusions are often induced by the lighthouses at night, an argument many have found unconvincing. The final piece in the puzzle is the Ministry of Defense's case file. Rumors of the file spread. Many imagine it holds secrets of a cover-up. When it was released in 2001, the published record lacked any sense of an in-depth investigation. Most were made up of correspondence between public inquirers and the Ministry of Defense. Many still accuse the ministry of publishing an incomplete or dummy file. While the British government has stated that the UFO reports were never taken entirely seriously, and that the data is proof of that, others see it as an
All right,
extension
man,
of an
listen to
elaborate
him, buddy.
cover-up. One of the final documents found in
I
the
keep saying
file
buddy, I don't
is
know why.
Minister of Defense Lord Trefcom's explanation for not investigating the matter further. Some witnesses and researchers find this explanation lacking,
80,000
and among other
miles
things,
of
insincere,
forest.
casting a long shadow of
Don't know if
doubt
I-
over the U.S. and U.K.'s plan to hide the
Sounds
truth.
familiar.
Counter theories. The extraterrestrial explanation of the events at Rendlesham Forest has not been without its detractors. Many came up with skeptical answers and conspiracy theories about what happened. One of the most popular theories argues that the entire event was a hoax. While no substantial evidence confirms this, policeman Kevin Condy told the BBC that he had caused the strange lights by driving in a modified police vehicle around the area. If this is true, no account of the events has legitimacy. Still, his unsubstantiated claims have been taken by others as additional confirmation of a cover-up. Also among the hoax theories is the contention that the British Special Forces purposely staged the sightings in revenge for an August 1980 incident in which SAS paratroopers were detained by U.S. security forces in a training exercise gone wrong. The SAS had been attempting to stealthily parachute into the Woodbridge Royal Air Force Base to test its defenses, but they were detected by U.S. radar, intercepted, assaulted, and held prisoner. Another less plausible explanation is the Soviet espionage satellite theory. Believers argue a spy satellite caused the flashing lights. Still, no evidence supports this claim. The most enduring explanation links three circumstances to the sightings. The first was the passing of a natural fireball over the British skies on December 26th.
Okay.
Astronomers explain this natural event is why the servicemen witnessed lights descending towards the forest. It was perhaps debris from the meteor. The second circumstance was the presence of the Orford Ness Lighthouse 5 miles away. At the time, it was among the brightest of British lighthouses. It was also within the line of sight of witnesses. The last circumstance stemmed from a police report of the incident, which alleged the supposed UFO landing marks were rabbit diggings. While neither of these three things
Precise
can be confirmed
rabbit
as the
dig-
root
okay.
of the sightings, of course, neither can a UFO.
Let's just blame the rabbits. Fuck it. They'll buy it.
Given this theory's credence, some witnesses attempted to follow the light and ended up seeing the lighthouse. Furthermore, there were reports that the strange lights flashed away every 5 seconds or so, which was the lighthouse's flash rate. Another explanation proposes that some witnesses may have misinterpreted the bright stars in the sky. The UFO lights could have actually been Sirius, the brightest star in the night sky. Many view these as an elaborate and exhaustive set of cover-up excuses, despite the vast array of explanations offered by experts and the government. The trail. Public interest in the Rendlesham Forest grew with every UFO-linked event. Many tourists are interested in following the path where it took place. In response to these curiosities, in 2005, the Forestry Commission decided to create a trail inside the forest, calling it the, quote, UFO Trail. In 2014, they commissioned artist Olivia English to create a sculpture of the UFO at the end of the trail. The artist based her sculpture on sketches from witness reports. Furthermore, she sought to create a likeness to what happened without bias. Olivia English has stated, quote,
Welcome back.
Design is really about
Darkish
trying to
Newt.
find a middle ground and remaining impartial and creating an interpretation. The sculpture features a line of symbols that some interpreted to be part of the conspiracy. English denied allegations, stating, quote, No secret code. It's art.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Sure. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the stream. So another 5-10 minutes of, if you got any questions, comments, whatever. Oh, yeah, actually, I was going to show you this quick. This was Alaskan Gold Rush's request. These are baby owls. I bet none of you knew the owls have really long legs. They actually have very long, like, fucking legs. Creepy ass things. God. Ugly ass birds, dude. I don't care for them. But yeah, those are the little alien babies. A bit early. We've been going for an hour and a half, man. Penguins have long... Yeah, most birds, I guess, like hawks and eagles have long legs too. They usually don't see them because their feathers cover them. But they actually have, like, if you pulled their feathers up, they'd have, like, long-ass legs. Your boyfriend actually has owls, and they were creepy as fuck as baby. Oh, yeah. Owls are just creepy, like, as adults, too. Like, they're gross. looking eyeballs and shit. I don't care for him. Let me put on some creepy music here. About another 10 minutes. And remember, we will be streaming Sunday, and we will be doing a Reddit review. So, I am going to post the links to that. You will also get, and you don't have to post anything on Reddit. Just being in it helps out the channel. I mean, it doesn't really help, but it's cool to have. Like, I'm trying to get 100 people in there. All right, we're at like, let's see what we're at. We're at 95 members in our Reddit. We need 5 more. So I'm going to post a link here. It's really simple to make a Reddit too if you have to do that. Yeah, Nick, I still need to do my green screen part 2 as well. I haven't done that yet. I don't know if I'll have it done by this Sunday, Nick, but I should have it done by next Sunday for sure. That's the Reddit. And then there is also Twitter. I do post like little stupid funny videos on Twitter that I just do little quick edits and stuff like that. So I did. If you missed the Mothman letter I wrote or I read out on stream, I edited it up to a little short 2-minute video. I put that on Twitter. So I'm gonna put my Twitter link here. And you get updates with stream stuff, so follow me on Twitter if you haven't, because that's more important than the Reddit. But Twitter, you actually will find use in. I just realized I'm not following a couple people. Big Cole and Logan gave you a follow. And Mad Moose and Diligent. Manuel Rodriguez. Okay. About 5 minutes. If you got any questions or talk about whatever, now is the time. I still need to do a few more Randonautica. I guess I could show you one of the clips. So, let me pull it up here. You're gonna hear sirens in a second. So, let's see. I'm just gonna follow from. No, disappear. I don't know. Okay. I was doing a Randonautica stream the other night, and I went out with my new 4K camera. This is shot in 1080p, not 4K. I wish I had known this was going to happen. I would have switched it to 4K. I also fucked up this shot, which pisses me off, because I had my fucking car window that... That was a weird sound. That was a weird... I don't know. But anyways, so I went Randonauticing. I pulled out of the parking lot I was in, which is just like not even down the block from where I'm at in this video. And I thought of the word blood. And I pull out, and all of a sudden I see this, and it wants me to take a right on my Randonautica. And this is what happened. So it went down that road. Now they didn't go where I was going. It wanted me to go, but they went right past it. And they actually ended up pretty close to where it sent me. They went about 3 blocks away from the location it sent me to. So, and I don't know what happened there. I drove by because I kind of followed them, and I was gonna see where they were going. They went to a gas station, and there was whatever reason, I don't know what was happening. There was a bunch of motorcycles there, a fuck ton, and there's a ton of cops. So I don't know what the fuck. I didn't see anything on the news, so I don't know. But yeah, that's one of the things I captured. Another thing. I don't know if I have it or not. I do not. Like, no, it wasn't a fight. It wasn't like it was. There was more ambulances and fire trucks. There was only like it wasn't. I couldn't. Usually you can tell what's going on, but I couldn't. I don't know. There was a lot of fire trucks there, but I don't know. There were a lot of people standing around. Like, it wasn't like a scuffle or anything. Like, I got there the same time the firefighters and stuff got there. Like, it's weird how you get more intense. Like, dude, I know. I went to the Randonautica stream, and literally we go through cornfields, not one damn thing happens. And the second I turn, like, another thing, I guess I've already told a few people, but I went that night that video I took that, which, now that's not creepy or scary, but it's something. And, like, at least it's kind of like, that's kind of weird, you know what I mean? I went to a spot, it did send me to, like, kind of a cornfield, but not really. It sent me to a marshy area by a cornfield. And I went out there, and I'll actually show you the image of what I'm talking about. Let me find a good picture of what I'm... Yeah, so this is where it sent me. Let me zoom in here. So this is where actually, this was the first location I went to. So I actually got a full moon, which is creepy. And it would look way bigger in person than it did on camera. But there's like this grassy area, right? And then there's this cornfield back here. And this whole area right here is like a muddy, watery, like swampy area. And it wanted me to go in there. And I obviously couldn't because I didn't have the gear for it. And I also forgot my fucking combat stick, my flashlight. But I got there and I thought of scary. I think I thought of scary when I did this one. And I got there and I didn't even... There was this fucking deer. And I didn't even see it. And I turn around and I see something moving in my fucking, like, peripheral vision. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's a deer, and he's just staring at me. Deer staring at me, and then it fucking runs to, like, it was to my left, and it runs right in front of me and stops. And then it kind of starts jogging towards me, and it just stops. I mean, probably, I don't know, 10, 15 yards away, and it stares at me. I'm like, what the fuck? I've never seen a deer do that. I was a little bit on edge. I was like, what the fuck? I'm about to punch this deer in the face if it comes any closer. But it didn't. Then it ran away like normal, and it ran over into these bushes or something in this area. And that was all that happened. Like, that was weird. I did get... It was a cool spot, though. It was a really fucking cool spot. There's, like, a parking lot near here that had lights, so it was kind of a lit-up area. So it was kind of badass. I like that. But, yeah, those are the... Like, not major things, but I definitely want to do more Randonauticas. I think it takes a lot of tries, and it takes a lot of patience. But, yeah. What is that red dot? This? This is the moon. This is the moon. This up here is Mars. Alright, Alaskan Gold Rush, thanks for tuning in, buddy. Yeah, see you Sunday, man. You worked as a scare actor for Halloween at an amusement park? Yeah, probably. If Venus was this big in the night sky, we'd be in trouble. To the side. Oh, that I think is a radio tower or something. Probably. I don't remember seeing that there, but I'm sure that's what it was. I'd never noticed it there. I don't know what that is. It's not a... I was gonna say a windmill, but it's not, because if I capture one red light, you see all of them. They go at the same time. So it's not a windmill. It's probably a radio tower light. I don't know. I don't remember seeing that. Oh, you thought that was the sun? No, that's the moon. It was a full moon. Like, it was a big-ass moon night. Randonautica is an app that detects anomalies in the quantum something, and like, watch a video on Randonautica, what it is. It's actually... They use legitimate... what's it called? Some university that studies quantum energy and quantum fluctuation, they have this, like, detector that detects quantum fluctuations, and they use that as their engine in the app. It's a legit thing. There's a whole thing about how Randonautica... It's not some gimmick app. It's not. I'm not saying that it's it doesn't have its flaws or anything like that. But it does use legitimate quantum fluctuations that are near you. Like, it's a weird fucking thing. You should watch some videos on it. It's fucking interesting. Since prey animals evolved their eyes to the side, so they got bigger field of view. It looks small in this picture for whatever reason. Like, this is how pictures come out. I don't know. Because, like, I don't know. It looked bigger than this in person. You should look into exploring and investigating abandoned sites. Oh, dude, I want to so bad. But yeah, legally, that's the hard part. It's like, usually, abandoned locations are off limits. They're private property or they're city owned, so they're trespassing regardless. Now, that won't stop me if I can get to a place where it's like I can shine my flashlight inside. No one's gonna be driving by all the time looking or see it. I would love to. I would love to do that shit because the last time I was in an abandoned house is when I went face to face with that fucking that homeless guy or whatever, the squatter, who looked like a demon from hell. And I've been in one since, but I would go back. I think it would be thrilling to go into an abandoned house by myself and like film. That would be interesting. About 2 more minutes, guys, before we end the stream. Dakota, I don't know if you heard or not. I don't know when I said it. It was the beginning of the stream when my mic was muted, but I put you in my a Twitter video. I know you don't have Twitter, but you should get one back. Look at the theories on Little St. James Island. I'm going to be ending the stream here, so I'm not going to do anything right now, but we can possibly do that next stream. If I want to search horny monster girl in Radonautica, what will happen? I mean, I don't know. It's like one of those things where I'm not sure if you can manifest things. I don't think it's so much as that. I think it just detects. I don't know. Like the whole thinking of what your intention is what I don't get. I don't know. But the documented cases that we have know for a fact are real. Example A is the dismembered body found in a suitcase on the beach, and it took him to that exact coordinate, right to it. I mean, dude, you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning than that happening. And not only that, they thought of the word travel, and it took him to a suitcase. Fuck, dude, that's fucking weird. And there's been more than just that, like the angry lady in the Walmart parking lot, which is one of the scariest clips I've ever seen, where they think of, I don't know what they were thinking of. I think they said scary or something. It took them to a Walmart parking lot, so they park. And then they notice there's a woman staring at them from so they're filming through the window, looking at this woman. She's like right across from them, and she has completely black eyes, staring at them, talking like in devilish tongues. And you can't hear what she's saying because they're in the car, but she's sitting there, and she's probably like 20 yards away. And they zoom in on her face, and her eyes completely black. Some old lady with white hair, like nasty, gnarly white. Fucking terrifying. Nah, fam, that's fucking fucked up. You guys hear that? Someone's tapping my fucking window. I'm not even fucking with you. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit freaked out right now. Someone's just banging. Did you guys hear that? Oh, dude, my heart's racing. That someone's just banging on my window in my living room, like banging, like fucking banging on it. I checked my front door, no one's there. Hold on. Like, I ain't even playing around, dude. Like, I got this and this. Someone's just banging on my window. My cats are literally sniffing under the door crack right now. There's no one there. I'm not saying it's a ghost or anything. I think it was an actual person, but why the fuck was someone just banging on my window? This music don't help, man. This music don't help. I'll put this full screen just in case I get fucking shot in a second. Where is this music coming from? Yeah, I know. Fuck. Someone should rewind to when I had that reaction where I looked over and see if you can hear anything. Someone should do that. Let me know so I know if I can save that. I mean, I was gonna end the stream, but I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I'm not drunk. Like, I don't want to look out my window because they can see me and I can hardly see them. Can't hear shit over the music. Fuck. Like, that was loud. Why would you bang on someone's window? Stream on your phone and go outside? No. It's not like a paranormal. I'm not saying it's a ghost. I think it's a person. But a few days ago, someone broke into my, I shouldn't say break in. They walked into my apartment because they thought no one was here. I can only assume. And I was sitting right in my chair right here. And luckily, I had this is a fake gun, but it looks real. Now, the combat stick is not fake. This is legit. But I held this up because I was just sitting here, and it was this big black guy, and he just says, "Oh, shit, my bad." Your dog was... See, the thing is, like, I can go investigate ghosts or aliens and fucking cryptids, but when you're dealing with fucking the neighborhood that I'm in, dude, you get fucking robbed. I don't want to get robbed. I can record a cryptid and it'll do freaky, scary things, but they're not gonna steal my phone and beat the shit out of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, well, I'm about to go out in my living room and fucking turn the projector on and play some football before I go to bed. Oh, it's a UFO. I'm gonna go shine this. Oh, you know what I should do? I'm gonna go shine this through the fucking curtains and it'll scare them. Or not, the blinds, I mean. They come near me. My door handle just turned. It's locked. It's locked, but dude. Okay. I don't know, dude. My fucking door handle was just making noises. Like, I was staying by the door. I don't know. I don't fucking know. The sad thing is if you like point this at someone and it's fake and they call your bluff and you're sitting there like, oh fuck, then what are you gonna do? To be fair though, if anyone broke in my house and saw Paco staring at them, they'd probably freak them out. You found my hat on eBay? Everyone to Dill's house to protect him. Tase the handle. Dude, that's not a bad idea. I didn't see anyone by the fucking door. But the fucking door handle, someone was at the door handle doing this, and then fucking someone banged on the window. Like, it wasn't a soft, like, tap. That's why it freaked me out. It was just like, what the fuck? We're gonna be witnesses at the shootout. Tase the handle. I mean, I'm sure it would shock him. I assume. I don't know what kind of metal it is on the handle, the door handle. I like it. Probably copper. I don't fucking know. Not copper. I'm doing okay, Logan. How about you? I ain't no bitch. I ain't scared. There was a moment where I was like, what the fuck? Like, I thought someone was breaking into my apartment. Because they were hitting the window so hard that I thought they were trying to fucking break it. And the fact that someone tried being nonchalant about walking... I mean, they could have been fucking drunk or high and just walked in the wrong apartment always, but... I don't know. This neighborhood's really, really sketchy. Maybe invest in an actual gun. It would... I mean... It would be useful. Well, here's the thing. I got Paco. Once Paco, his territory is challenged, he will defend it. Okay? And then I have my two cats, who are combat cats. They are trained to kill. They will leech onto the subject and distract him. Biting and scratching. And that's when I come in with the combat stick. I will hit him on the throat. Right? And it'll crush his windpipe. He'll be unable to breathe. I will then take 2 strikes to his skull. He will be unconscious and dead. And then I'll tase him for 30 seconds for good measure on the back of the neck to fry his cerebrum. That makes no sense, but I saw it in Spider-Man 2. The coating on the outside of the door. I don't know. Like, this is the same apartment I had my packages stolen from. I had the $1,000 worth of stuff. The guy that just walked in my apartment, that was like it would have been the day I went for Randonautica hunting with my buddy. So it would have been whatever that was, 2 weeks ago or whatever. Nobody outside that window. Scouting your house. Yeah, well, the thing is, I have so many valuables, dude, that there's no way. There's no way. Plus, I feel like if I took all my... Like, my desk alone, sitting on my desk alone, I have, like, $3,000 of stuff just sitting on my desk. My monitors, my computer, the desk itself. My projector is worth $2,000, but none of this stuff is like, I need to hire, I need a guard dog. I need like a fucking Iron Man suit that just patrols my house when I'm gone. I didn't say anything when the guy walked in. I was kind of shocked. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to like say or do. Like, so I just I had my gun here, and I kind of grabbed it. I didn't point it at him or anything, but I grabbed it. And I didn't raise it up like this completely, but I kind of, like, flashed it a little bit. Because it sits right here on my desk, usually, just for that reason. Because it does scare people. Like, if you point a gun at someone, they're going to fucking get scared. But, I mean, this guy would have fucking destroyed me if we would got in a fight. I don't know. Well, and the thing is, the only people that can really break into your apartment are the people that live here, because the outside door is locked. It's always locked. So there's the outside door and then my door, and they're thick doors. I mean, good luck busting the door down. You have to come through the windows, which is definitely attainable. But I mean, there's people everywhere, so it'd have to be at nighttime, which I'm always here at night. Yeah, Chicago, no thank you. No thank you. Alright, guys, I'm going to end the stream there. I'm just going to go fucking get some more beer in me. And if someone comes in, I'm going to have to fuck them up. Alright? What's up, Brandon Harris at Windows? What about... Oh, the guy banging on my windows just a second ago? But yeah, no. Join my Reddit, join my Twitter if you haven't already. And yeah, guys, we'll be streaming Sunday night. Yeah, so we'll do a Reddit review then. If you have Reddit post, make sure to post them by then, or during the stream Sunday night, we'll review them. So, if I don't stream Sunday night, it means that someone did break into my house tonight and murdered me. So, yeah. Otherwise, I will be here Monday, or Sunday. So, peace out, guys. Take care, wash your booties. Don't get the, you got broken into last year? Like, oh, dude. That's the worst fucking thing. I can't imagine what I would do if I got all my shit stolen. Oh, that's more than what I probably have like $5 grand of stuff in here. Well, probably close to 6, but still. Yeah, it's fucking shitty, dude. Sorry to hear about that. But yeah, guys. I'm going to end the stream. Take care. Peace out. Love you.